6 brain games to sharpen your mind, backed by science, research, and evidence, not just empty claims. Every single game in this video is something researchers actually use in real cognitive testing. The same tasks clinicians use to measure memory, focus, and mental sharpness. No fluff, no urban myths, just 6 games you can play right now with the actual research linked on screen so you don't have to take my word for it. Let's find out how your brain really performs. First up, the category sprint. This is one of the most widely used tests in clinical neuropsychology for measuring how quickly and flexibly your brain can search its own memory. Here's how it works. In a moment, a category is going to appear on screen, something like mammals or countries. Your job is to name as many things in that category as you can before the timer runs out. Say them out loud or type them in the comments. Either way. Ready? Categories up. 60 seconds. Go. Possible answers in alphabetical order. Bat, 2. Bear, 3. Camel, 4. Cat, cheetah, 6. Cow, 7. Deer, 8. Dog, 9. Dolphin, 10. Elephant, 11. Fox, 12. Giraffe, 13. Goat, 14. Gorilla, 15. Hippopotamus, 16. Horse, 17. Kangaroo, 18. Koala, 19. Leopard, 20. Lion, 21. Monkey, 22. Mouse, 23. Panda, 24. Pig, 25. Rabbit, 26. Rhinoceros, 27. Sheep, 28. Tiger, 29. Whale, 30. Zebra. However many you got, here's the science behind why this matters. This exact task is used to assess something called cognitive flexibility. Basically, how efficiently your brain can jump between related ideas without getting stuck. It's simple enough to do in 60 seconds, but sensitive enough that it's used clinically to catch early signs of cognitive decline decades before symptoms would otherwise show up. That's a real research-backed task, not a party trick. This exact type of task is used by real neuropsychologists to measure something called cognitive flexibility. Basically, how quickly your brain can search its own memory and jump between related ideas. It's simple enough to do in 60 seconds, but sensitive enough that doctors use it to catch early signs of cognitive decline, sometimes decades before other symptoms show up. Next, one that sounds easy and absolutely is not. You're going to see a string of numbers flash on screen. Memorize them. Then, and this is the twist, you're going to say them back in reverse order, not the order you saw them. Backward. Ready for round 1? Remember the numbers. Say the numbers back in reverse order. This one's called the backward digit span, and it's actually the most common test used in clinical settings to measure working memory, your brain's ability to hold information and actively manipulate it at the same time, not just store it. Reading numbers forward is memory. Reversing them on the fly is your brain doing real-time mental work. If that felt harder than round one, that's exactly what the research would predict. This is actually the gold standard clinical test for something called working memory, your brain's ability to hold information and actively rearrange it, not just store it. Reading numbers forward only tests memory. Saying them backward forces your brain to do real mental work in real time. This next one isn't a timed game. It's a 2-minute mental trick that sounds almost too simple to work. Think of one task you've been putting off. Doesn't matter what it is. Now, instead of doing it, just write down one specific, concrete step for how you'll tackle it. That's it. Pause if you want to actually do this. Here's why this works. Researchers found that unfinished tasks tend to nag at your attention and quietly hurt your performance on other things you're trying to focus on. But here's the surprising part. You don't have to finish the task to make that mental noise go away. Just writing a concrete plan for it was enough to eliminate the interference entirely in the study. Your brain apparently just wants proof there's a plan. It doesn't need the task itself finished. Researchers found that unfinished tasks quietly nag at your attention and hurt your focus on everything else you're doing. But here's the surprising part. You don't actually have to finish the task to make that mental noise disappear. Just writing down a concrete plan was enough to eliminate the interference completely. This one's a classic from spatial reasoning research. You'll see a shape on the left and 4 rotated versions on the right. Only one of them is a true match. The others are subtly flipped or altered. Figure out which one actually matches. This task has been used in spatial cognition research since the 1970s, and it's still one of the most reliable ways scientists study how your brain manipulates objects in your head. And here's the genuinely good news. Training studies show that practicing this kind of task leads to real, lasting improvement. Gains that were still measurable well after the training stopped. Unlike a lot of brain training claims, this one has real staying power behind it. This exact task has been used in spatial reasoning research since the 1970s, and it's still one of the most reliable ways scientists study how your brain manipulates objects in space. Even better, training studies show the improvements are real and lasting. They stick around long after the training itself stops. Next, and I want to be honest with you about this one, instead of overselling it. This is called the dual N-back. You'll track 2 separate streams of information at once and flag whenever something matches what appeared a few steps earlier. It is genuinely difficult. Give it a shot. Here's the honest science part. Some research on this task shows real transfer to broader thinking skills. Other studies find the improvement stays narrowly limited to the exact task itself and doesn't generalize elsewhere. The research community genuinely disagrees on this one, and I'd rather tell you that straight than pretend it's settled science just because it makes a better headline. Here's the honest part. Some studies show this kind of intense memory training genuinely transfers to broader thinking skills. Other studies find the benefits stay locked to the exact task, with no real improvement anywhere else. Scientists still disagree on this one, and that's worth knowing before you believe any bold claims about it. Last one, and this is your reward for making it through that last round. For the next 30 seconds, just watch. That's not filler, that's the exercise. Research on attention shows that your ability to concentrate is a limited resource that gets fatigued the more you use it, kind of like a muscle. And brief exposure to natural scenery, even on a screen, not necessarily being outside, has been shown to measurably restore that capacity. One study specifically compared a short nature video break to a blank screen break, and the nature clip won. So if that dual N-back round just fried your brain a little, this 30 seconds is doing real work to bring you back. Your ability to focus works a lot like a muscle. The more you use it, the more tired it gets. Research shows that even a short clip of nature, just on a screen, can measurably restore that focus faster than simply staring at a blank screen. So this 30-second break is doing real work, not just filling time. So that's 6 brain games: a category sprint, backward digit span, the unfinished task fix, mental rotation, the dual N-back bonus round, and a nature reset to close things out. Every one of them pulled from real cognitive research, with the actual sources linked on screen, not just claimed. You don't need to do all 6 today. Pick the one that felt hardest for you and try it again tomorrow. That's genuinely where the benefit compounds. If this was useful, you know what to do. Like it, subscribe, and let me know in the comments which one wrecked you the most. See you in the next one.